What skills do I need to start a business? We're going to answer that question in this video. Okay, let's rock. Let's talk about what skills, what mad skills do you need to start a business? Okay, so you're talking to somebody here that's opened several businesses, and what I've noticed after opening all those several businesses is that there's patterns. You're right, there's skills that you needed to possess in order to successfully open the business, maintain it, and run it, okay? And so the first thing that comes to mind is super strong work ethic, okay? If you've got the ability to work hard without being told, you don't have to be told. You basically whip yourself every single day and you take pride in your work. You don't even have to have your own company. You might work for somebody else and understand that, hey, I'm here to do a good job. I want to do a good, honest work and then some, and you just work. And there's that term you've heard probably several times called being a workaholic. It's basically somebody that just nonstop works, right? And so I'm a workaholic, and I know that. It doesn't matter if it's morning, afternoon, night, late at night. I'm always doing something work-related, right? My mind's always spinning. I'm always thinking business and things like that. So if you've got that in you, if you're always staying up late, you're losing sleep, and you're sitting there and you're thinking about, what's the latest and greatest? What can I do better? Or if you're dreaming right now and you've never started a business and you're visualizing what your business will look like and what the walls are going to be like and your employees and, whatever. If you're that person and your mind just never stops thinking business, that's probably the absolute top thing. Whether you consider that a skill or not, you've got to possess that just uncanny ability to have strong work ethic, okay? So again, work ethic, having a strong work ethic is basically, without being told, always wanting to work and do it yourself, okay? So not being one of those people that, if you're an adult, you're working 40 hours a week, you're counting the minutes and the hours to get to your 40 hours just so you can punch out on Friday and then go spend times with your friends and family on the weekend and repeat the same process. To me personally, I'd rather be dead than do that, right? I don't care if I work for somebody or not. I don't want to just work 40 hours a week because that's when the magic starts. If you're working for somebody else or you own your own business, 40 hours a week is like par on a golf course, okay? Par, as last I remember, doesn't win any Masters tournaments, right? There's no golfers that are winning major tournaments shooting par. That's like the bare minimum. However, shooting par on a really tough golf course, for an amateur, that's a really good score, right? Just being able to shoot par. But again, you're trying to make your business be the best. You want it to be the best it can be, and you're like, gosh, what crazy good skills do I gotta have in order to be successful? What did it take you to be successful? Well, I'm telling you, that's what I do. I'm gonna make an example. One of my family members, one of my cousins used to help me out at my card store. And he worked his day job during the day, and he's putting in his 40 hours a week. And then on the side, he'd come and he'd help me sell stuff on eBay. So he'd come over to my shop, and maybe he'd get there at 6 o'clock or whatever. And sometimes we'd work past midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, and we'd be listing stuff on eBay and selling it. And we'd be joking because that particular time when all of this was really going on, we were right next to a bar. So I'm gonna give you some serious food for thought. This is something I want you to just sit back and digest because this is a reality. So my cousin and I were sitting there working, right? He's burning the midnight oil with me. He's putting in probably another 20 hours a week because he knows that any additional hour, any additional income that he makes during the course of a month, it's gonna be profit, right, in a sense, because all his bills were paid by his normal full-time day job, okay? So if he could make himself an extra $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, that's going straight into his pocket, right? And so that is something that we always joked about because we always said we would hear all the people going crazy next door at the bar because the walls, they weren't soundproof or whatever, so you could hear them going nuts if something happened. And we're sitting there saying, isn't it crazy how people work 40 hours a week? Okay, that's just a sad fact. They work 40 hours a week, they pay their bills, and what little money they've got left at the end of the month, they go and they drink next door, they blow it next door at the bar, they lose all their money, and then they go back to work on Monday and repeat it all over again. And before they know it, they get old, and they don't have much saved up, and they don't like their life, and they're trying to figure it out, when there's people that they don't even see, which was us, right next door that are building their futures. And I'm telling you this story because that's how I built my future. A lot of you don't know, you say, I didn't really know you, Bayman. I didn't know you growing up. I barely knew you. Well, I'll tell you why a lot of people didn't know me if you wonder what I was doing. I was working twice as much as the average person does. I was putting in 65, 75, 80 plus hours a week, depending on what I was doing. That's what I was doing. So if I didn't have an understanding family that understood that, hey, there's an actual goal here, right? There's light at the end of the tunnel, that this is the sacrifice that we have to do to get ahead in life, because nobody was giving us handouts, right? Nobody was giving us handouts, and we knew if we wanted it, we saw friends that we were socializing with that were doing really well. We said, you know what, it'd be nice to be at that level. So they kept elevating me, right? And so that brings me to another point, right? Getting yourself and surrounding yourself around the right people that are like-minded, that have super strong goals, is only going to elevate you. And you need to understand that, right? So if you're hanging around a bunch of people that don't want to go anywhere in life, it's going to be really tough. You're going to kind of be the outcast, right? Because you're going to be the one that's wanting to crush it and get ahead in life, and they're going to be the ones just sitting around playing video games or doing whatever the heck they want to do and not going anywhere. And then they end up being 40 or 50 years old and doing the same thing. Some of them maybe even living with their parents, right? That's not the life I wanted. To each his own. And if that's not what you want to do, if you want to go out there and crush it, start surrounding yourself around good, like-minded people that can elevate you, right? They basically become contagious in a possible way where you're seeing their success. Don't get jealous of it. Let it motivate you. I'll tell you what's crazy. Anytime I see somebody have something where I'm like, they're a level up or something, 5 levels up or 10 levels up, and I'm like, man, that's crazy. The average person looks and says, man, I'm so jealous, or man, I'm so envious. Scratch that crap out of your vocabulary. Let me tell you what I say. I'm like, man, that's really motivating. Man, that's incredibly motivating. Keep doing that. Wow, impressive. Nice job. Kudos, high five, fist bump, whatever. That's seriously motivating, right? And so when you see people that are accomplishing those things, see if they'll work with you. See if those are people that, that'll take you into their inner circle, that'll let you come into their mastermind and offer them, say, hey, this is what I do for a living. Say, for example, you're a handyman. Let's say, like another one of my cousins, say you're a plumber, right? And you say, hey, I'd like to learn business. I can help you out and trade services and things like that. Can I get in your inner circle? Can I, be in your guys' mastermind? I think I've got stuff I could contribute, and I certainly can help you guys out if you ever need something fixed around one of your businesses or your house. I'd love to take care of you, right? So a lot of those business owners will be like, heck yeah, come on in. We'd love to have you in. And so because it's kind of like the more minds, the merrier, right? The more minds you add, it creates like a super brain. They call it like a mastermind. So if you go from having like a tiny little brain, like a pea-sized brain, maybe is one person's brain, to having this gigantic, Stay Puft marshmallow-sized brain that's just crazy good, that operates at 100 people or 1,000 people's intelligence, because you've put all that intelligence together, right? It's called a mastermind. So, okay, so let's go back. I know we got off on a tangent, but sorry, I like to roll with, certain topics when I get around to them. So other things you need to possess. What skills you need to possess? You need to have super strong determination, and you need to be a highly motivated person. To start a business, it's not really that tough, right? You can start it. But if you want to stay in business and you want to maintain it and succeed in it, I don't know anybody that's wanting to start a business that's like, yeah, my lifelong goal is to really start a business, and if it doesn't pan out, I really don't care. I'm just going to close it down and go back to work for the man. It's not how it works, right? When you have that dream and you want to start a business, you ultimately want it to succeed. So I'm just telling you, whatever you got to do to motivate yourself, start doing 100 sit-ups a day and push-ups, and go run a few miles, and start planking, whatever you got to do. Start punching bags, do the freaking Rocky. I don't care what you do to get yourself motivated. Play some highly motivating music as you're waking up every day. I tell you, I've had the privilege to travel a lot in the last few years of my life. And there's one person that sticks out that I've stayed with a few times in New Jersey. He's a good friend of mine, Sean. Sean, when I was staying at your house, one of the coolest things that I admire is every single day you wake up, you put motivating music on in the morning to get you pumped up, right? That's how you amp yourself up. And everybody's got their own method. Maybe that's not for you, but whatever it takes, if you got to run outside for 3 miles or 5 miles, whatever it takes to get you motivated and to get your mind in the right mindset, you're going to need to possess that. So again, let's just make it simple, right? Strong work ethic, highly motivated, and strong determination, right? Relentless persistence. I want you to be as persistent as it comes. resilient. If a speed bump hits you, if somebody just gets in your path, you just part the water. You're like, get out of my way. Just crush it wide open. It doesn't matter. Always, no matter what, step over that obstacle. Jump over that hurdle, right? Doesn't matter what it is. You just keep moving forward. Okay, everybody, I hope I gave you some mad skills on how you can start a business. If you liked it, please share it with your friends and family. Comment if you got questions, and don't forget to subscribe. Remember, in life and in business, it's never easy for anybody. If they tell you otherwise, I don't think they're telling the truth. But the bottom line is, when it gets tough and the going gets tougher, never quit. Push hard, keep pushing, and be the hustler.